All right, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is, wherever in this world it is that you are. Welcome once more to another live stream of IP2 Wiki Info Live. Today, we're going to focus on the situation revolving around the parties outlined on rumoredpedo.com because I've reached the conclusion that I haven't been looking at this correctly. I don't think a lot of us have been looking at this correctly. A lot of us seem to be looking for things that the parties outlined on rumoredpedo.com and their associates and affiliates are hiding. They're not hiding anything. It's all in plain sight. I actually had a dream about this last night. I dreamed specifically about Clumsy Bean Gang's YouTube page. I know that sounds crazy. I don't care if it does. I'm somebody who is a very spiritual person. I definitely believe in the power of God and Jesus Christ. And I think God is using me as some sort of a mechanism or a tool to put a halt to something really, really bad going on because I can't stop thinking about it. And when I think about the fact that I have dealt with these two assholes and their affiliates that are outlined on rumoredpedo.com for such a long time now, I even had the male approach me without my consent with a gun in his backpack on International Drive. You know damn well that there's divine intervention taking place. That guy outlined on rumoredpedo.com is evil. I am telling you, he is a bad, bad, bad creature, and he's hurting children. I'm not going to say allegedly anymore. I'm not going to say I suspect it anymore because I know it. I do not care about the repercussions I might contend with. I do not care what comes down the pipeline to try to silence me at this point, because I know that something is very wrong. There are people covering this up. There are women involved in this situation that are mothers that should know better, who should be doing what I'm doing right now, but you're not doing it, you goddamn bitches, because you're afraid. For quite a long time now, we have heard Controlla, Big Trolla, talk about things, but she hasn't exactly put it in the right terms because this is something difficult to put in the right terms. Q, Metallo, he's been very upset about these people for a while, but he's so young that we haven't been listening to him and he doesn't know how to explain it correctly. Tommy James has noticed stuff. He said it, but a lot of you are not listening to him. And he's of the mindset to where he's like, look, I'm only going to address this a couple of times. I've said what needs to be said. Y'all aren't listening. Well, I'm a self-preservationist by nature, so I guess I'm done talking about it. I don't blame him. I don't blame him because the people who are noticing this, we're attacked left and right. And the people who should be talking about this, who actually have something at stake, meaning your children, you're scared to death. You're scared of being criticized. You're scared of being attacked. You know, I don't think a lot of you who are parents who know about this love your children enough. I really don't. I don't believe that you deserve your children, because if you did, none of this would be going on right now. I see you all donating to this shit. I see you all just laughing it up. Okay. And then on top of it, some of you know the government names of these people and you're shielding these people. They're not even people, they're monsters. You're shielding them. Well, that's fine. Because all of you shielding the goddamn names that we're looking for, that's fine. Keep shielding. Guess what? We're going to attach your names to it. That's what we're going to do. That's the solution. I want Samman's name. But until we get it, we're just going to hammer on this and hammer it and hammer it and hammer it, because We are seeing child predators initiate and engage in child abuse, child neglect, teen grooming, and only God knows what else in plain sight. I'm wondering how many of you piss poor parents have already sold your children to this group of losers. I can pretty much pinpoint a couple mothers who already have. That's why they can't get out the Discord, aka the Petacord. But I want to share with all of you this morning an article. You see, like I said, I was not looking at this correctly. I wasn't even using the right search terms to find what I needed to find in order to get this through some of your thick skulls. The sneakers. The sneakers are being used to lure the children and the teens. I'm telling you, Q Metallo figured it out. I think Tommy James figured it out. You know who figured it out more than anybody and who's been used as a scapegoat? Clumsy. Clumsy knows. He knows because he's familiar with that culture. And he's been trying to tell us. That's why they've been picking on him and bullying him and trying to make him seem like somebody that he's not, because he knows. He knows, and he's outlined it all on his YouTube channel. So I'm going to read to all of you an article that I found this morning. I can't even believe that I never saw this article before, but I'm telling you, all of you feeding into these damn sneaker, child abusing teen groomers, your names are going to be attached to it. You want to shield these fuckers? Fine. Shield them. Just don't cry as you find it hard to find employment and do anything else in life because you want to save the sneaker sniffers who in actuality are teen groomers, child exploiters, and child abusers. That's what it is. So this is an article from 2017. It's titled 62-year-old suspect tried to use sneakers and Instagram to lure son, a woman who was a mother said, okay? And this is out of Florida. And what's interesting is that most of these sneaker people that are in the community that's revolving around the parties outlined on rumorpedo.com, they're from the East Coast, and a lot of them are from the Florida area. They're actually from third world countries. A lot of these people, you think that they're Americans, they're not. Not at all. They're stealing other people's identities. They're lying about who they are, where they're from. That's why it's hard to pinpoint their names. They're not using their real names. But I'm just going to read this to y'all. Again, this is from 2017, May 3rd. Sandy Springs, Georgia. A mother's curiosity about her son's social media led Johns Creek police to a man accused of trying to lure the teen into a sexual relationship, authorities said. Quote, "It's shocking. The woman whose identity is being concealed to protect her 14-year-old son told Channel 2's Mike Pachenik, very, very, very upsetting." Okay, we already got someone in here trying to defend the child abusers. Okay, that's fine. Because guess what? Every time you guys do this, I'm just going to randomly pick one of the women from that Discord, and I'm going to link her name to all this. Because we have the mothers' names who are subjecting their children to child abusers. So that's one. Keep going. The woman said her son's phone had broken, so he was using hers. And when he returned it, she noticed that his Instagram account was open and there were messages from a man whose name she didn't recognize. Quote, "At first it was talking about normal things, like shoes and clothes and things like that, but then it got to be very strange," end quote, she said. Police said 62-year-old Mohammed El-Sawi eventually began discussing taking the teen on a trip to Miami. See, there's the Florida connection. This man was trying to groom a teen. We know for a fact that public figure Victor De Leon groomed a 16-year-old girl named Katie. He should be in prison. Instead, he's got multitudes of people protecting him and glorifying him. This is why God made me a female instead of a male. Because if I was a male, he wouldn't exist anymore. I'm telling you right now. Police said El Sawi sells high-end designer sneakers online and met the teen at a shoe convention in Gwinnett County, then continued to talk to him via social media. Quote, there were some comments about sexual things, being comfortable with each other and undressing in front of each other, the boy's mother said. She said she allowed the discussion to continue so she could gather more evidence to take to police. Quote, I went into the house and actually brought him out. I went into the house and actually brought him out with the suitcase. Then the police came and explained to him what was going on, she said. Johns Creek police had the woman set up a meeting with El Sawi and recorded it. Quote, she arranges the meeting wanting to know what his plans were, what his purpose was in this, end quote, said Captain Chris Byers. Quote, everything that happened there built the probable cause we need, end quote. Police arrested El Sawi last week in Sandy Springs. He is charged with a number of offenses, including enticing a minor. Quote, I was relieved, end quote, said the boy's mother. Quote, I want him to be off the street. I want him to go to jail. I don't want him to be able to do this to another child, end quote. She said she urges other parents to do what she did. Quote, be vigilant, she said. It's not invading their privacy. It's making sure they stay safe. Ben Halpert, who runs a nonprofit called Cyber Savvy Kids, told Pachenik that is exactly the position that parents should take with their children. Quote, it's really good for parents to have the conversation with kids, to talk to them about what they're doing online, what apps they use, who their friends are, end quote, he said. Quote, if you're going to monitor your kids' social media, monitor their technology use. You need to tell them, and tell them why. Tell them you're doing it to protect them, end quote. El Sawi has bonded out of jail. His attorney told Pachenik she will wait to see the evidence before making any comments about the case. So I linked up this article in the description of this live stream. Every time I'm led to do a stream about this topic, I'm going to do it. Some of you are going to get really sick and tired hearing about it. I don't really care. You can attack me until the day you die. I don't really care. You can say the worst of the worst about me. Again, I don't care. Because if I was a man, this already would have concluded in April of 2022, the International Drive incident. But it was meant for me to at least be desensitized to the situation, because now if I ever cross paths with that person again, it's going to be a different story. But I'm telling you, they're abusing kids. I'm telling you, they're exploiting kids. And the kids that they have access to are the kids who belong to the mothers in that damn Discord. There is no reason for anyone who is a parent who loves their child to have any contact with these people who are clearly, beyond a shadow of a doubt, targeting and grooming teens. So that's fine. You want to shield these assholes' names? Okay, because guess what? All of you shielding it, we know your names. We're going to start with you, Ronnie. Because you're donating to this, you're feeding into this, and it's time for you to be called out. You thought you were safe. What, you thought that the situation that you've been conspiring with Amber about was going to stop me from ever dealing with you? No, no. We're going to start with you. You know that bitch known as BXO? I think she's going to have to relocate her residence soon. All you women defending this shit, especially if you're parents, your life is going to change before the end of this year. I highly suggest that you disconnect from these child abusers and teen groomers and never talk to them again. Should you choose not to do that, do not cry going forward. Have a great day, everybody. We'll talk about this again soon. Goodbye.